All right, welcome to another Jags podcast, episode 100 and a half. We're here with part 2 to our episode, our great episode, because we are joined by the OG member, James. James, how's it going?
Good. Happy to be here.
I feel like we left Joey out last time, and he was a little offended, a little hurt. He told us over the breaks and stuff that he was a little offended. We didn't give him his airtime. So, Joey, we're happy you're here too.
Oh, sorry. You want me to pick up the
mic
and actually talk?
Yeah, we're glad you're here too.
Joey's here.
Yep. If you didn't check out our last episode, we basically talked about the Jags and kind of where they're at, the front office, Shad Khan, all that stuff. So make sure that you listen to that. It's kind of the part 2 of that discussion. And really we're just kind of picking James's brain because he's had some time to just fester on his disappointment like we've all had this year. But we turn our eyes to next year and to being positive. And like Joey mentioned in our last episode, we had three picks probably in the top 40. So that's pretty good. James, what are the needs that need to be addressed immediately in the draft?
I mean, throw a dart at the board at this point.
Yeah, but there's certain positions that are more valued.
No, without a doubt. This has become my strategy if I'm a general manager, okay? Based on what the Jaguars have done and other teams do that is successful. On the offensive side of the ball, besides quarterback in the first round, the only other position group that I would draft is offensive line. And on the defensive side of the ball, besides linebacker, and especially middle linebacker, the only position I would draft, or position group I would draft is defensive line. Every skill position on both sides of the ball I would not draft in the first round. And so, with that being said, I think the Jags need to go offensive line with their first pick, whether it's at 5 or 10 or anywhere in between. They need to get, of course, his name escapes me, the tackle from Georgia.
Andrew Thomas.
Andrew Thomas, thank you. I go after Andrew Thomas. Now, I will say if they get Derek Brown from Auburn, the defensive lineman, I would not be upset with that at all because our run defense is terrible. But I just think I think they need to shore up the offensive line.
I think that's a good combo. I mean, either one of those guys, whoever falls to where, I mean, you can't be mad.
Yeah,
Do you have somebody from San Diego Technical College?
Yeah, you know me. I want Jordan Love, the quarterback from Utah State,
of course,
to come in, to come in and revitalize the franchise. But I would like Derek Brown. It's just hard. It's hard to get excited about interior defensive linemen that just dominate. But you've seen it happen. You've seen it happen with
look what happened when we lost ours. Marcel Darius.
I mean, like guys like Sue and Aaron Donald. I mean, those guys take over games from the interior defensive line.
Well, before we even go any further, is it a foregone conclusion that Darius isn't going to be back next year?
I think so.
Why?
That abdominal injury for a guy's age and a big dude, that's tough to recover from, right?
Yeah, but I think his dead money.
And he's
drops off.
Could you see them cutting him and then re-signing him to a different contract?
Yeah, if he's willing to.
Yeah, maybe.
But you think regardless that position needs to be addressed? Or assume that he's not going to be back.
Yeah, and I think the Jags kind of tipped their hand a little bit when they drafted the other kid from Auburn, Dontavius Russell, last year or whatever. That they felt like they needed to kind of bulk up there,
right?
And
actually, they only scout the Southeastern Conference because that's easy.
Do what?
They only look at the Southeast because that's easy.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad.
Yeah, I mean,
for in the first round.
Hey, yeah, Josh Allen's going to be pretty good. I mean, they took Jalen Ramsey. He was pretty good. ACC.
Yeah. So, are there any other offensive tackles in the top 10?
Yeah, there's one. There is one. I don't remember where he's from though.
Tristan Wirfs from Iowa, 6'5", 322, junior, second ranked offensive lineman. Okay. According to CBS.
What's he? Is he over 300 pounds?
322.
Take him.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest friend that a quarterback can have is time. It's not a great receiver. It's not a great tight end. It's time in the pocket. And that's why Minshew started playing again after, they benched Foles. It wasn't because, or at least according to Marone, that he was head and shoulders better. It was that he could run, because Foles couldn't. He could run for his life. I mean, that's what he said. And so they need to give, whether it's Foles or Minshew, you can't argue that either one of them will benefit from more time in the pocket, which means Chark will be better. Whomever else they get at wide receiver, I'm sure they'll bring someone else in, maybe, I don't know, or draft for
Hopefully.
sure. Right.
Jason, you want the guy from Alabama, right? Like top pick.
I was gonna say you guys know I'm a big trenches guy.
Sure.
It's all about the trenches with me. I would like offensive line for sure to solidify. I don't know if Cam Robinson is done yet. I don't know. I know Norwell is going to play out his contract next year. I know Linder needs to be, looked at soon. The center position, he's getting older. The right guard position, I mean, it's a mess this year. I mean, alternating back and forth. But I'm not ready to give up on Cam Robinson yet. And I think Juwan Taylor is going to be good. I want to give Cam Robinson one more year. I really do, because he is coming off an ACL injury. At that position, we've seen where ACL injuries can take over a year to recover to get back to your prior playing form. I'd like to give Cam Robinson one more year. And I really do think the offense needs a guy that you can get the ball in their hands and they make things happen. You look at these good teams all throughout the league, and they have that one receiver or that one back or that one tight end that's just uncoverable. Like, he's the best player on the team. He's going to score 20-plus fantasy points. But you still can't stop him. And the Jaguars haven't had that guy since Maurice Jones-Drew. And I think they need to get that guy. I think Jerry Jeudy could be that guy. I think you get Jerry Jeudy in. He could be a guy that, like an Antonio Brown, that gets open every single play, a guy that's uncoverable. And we just need more of that on offense, because we're just stagnant, and you can't win in this league without playmakers.
I agree. I just don't like that in the first round. I mean, you talk about a guy that's unstoppable that you game plan for and still breaks you. I mean, the Panthers have that. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, they have 5 wins this year.
Yeah.
I mean, he is unstoppable. And you can't – in that, I feel like that's what the Jags would be. They'd have this awesome guy, and it still wouldn't result in any wins because they have nothing else around. I mean, there's so many needs, and I just think trenches on both sides of the ball is where they need to go. And then, I mean, look at their most recent 2 best receivers for the Jaguars have both been drafted in the second round, Allen Robinson and DJ Chark. I think you can wait and find maybe not as dynamic as a guy as you're talking about in the second round, but someone that is going to contribute in a big way. You can find that in the second round. Running back, without a doubt. I mean, I hope they never draft a running back in the first round ever again. But, those big boys, man, they need to go. That needs to be priority for me.
Well, plus if you address offensive line, then, I mean, Chark might be very close to that guy. I mean, look at the season he had this year with no offensive line. I mean, he made that leap. Offensive line gets better. I mean, he might make another leap. Is there any chance that you guys think we trade up for Burrow?
No.
Would you be mad if they did?
No.
No.
All right, fair enough. I'm in the same boat. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I was like, because that guy.
I think it's too soon. I think I could see them doing that next year because
Right.
they still have 2 first-round picks next year too.
Yeah.
So sell the farm, get the big guys, get the line ready this year, and then whoever has number 1 in 2021 draft, give however many picks you need to go get Trevor Lawrence.
If Burrow's available at 6, do we take him?
He's not going to be there at 6.
All right, Fox News says he's there at 6.
Fox News.
Tua
What is
goes
this?
above
Bill
him.
O'Reilly's mock
I mean,
draft?
It actually, I thought the same thing. I went back and looked at it.
There's zero.
Let's just go through the top.
He's won.
I
That's
don't think Tua will be there at
Dude,
6.
Chase Young, number 1.
I could see
Couldn't
that.
argue that. I agree.
I could see that.
Andrew Thomas, we just talked about him, number 2.
If you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan,
Derek Brown, number 3.
you lose your mind
No.
if they get
No.
as
Maybe.
good as he is.
No, Burrow's going to be 1 or 2.
All right.
Burrow's going to be 1 or 2.
Who's got the second pick? We don't know yet, I guess, do we?
Well, as of right now, that would be Washington Redskins.
Okay. Well, that's possible.
Yeah, it's absolutely possible. I mean, then we get to Detroit Lions. They take Brown, see that, but Giants taking.
I don't think
Jeff
Tua
Okudah?
lasts. I don't think Tua lasts to our pick.
Not past the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't think so. Here's
Would you want Tua? If they,
No, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I would take Tua.
I'm scared
No,
of Tua's
I'm
injury.
scared.
I'm not.
Death of Tua.
I've seen enough of him to know that he's going to be an NFL
If any other
quarterback.
team takes him, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. If we take him,
That's,
he's going to have Bo
that
Jackson
actually
hip
is a,
injury
might
and I'll
be a
never
fair
play
point.
again.
That might be a fair point, but I don't like to agree with that. So what's y'all? Just tell me, what is y'all's reactions going to be when we draft Jordan Love, Utah State quarterback?
With what pick?
Our first pick.
Oh, man.
I mean, hey,
What are y'all gonna
if
do?
he's best on the board, you
What are y'all gonna do? What are y'all gonna do when we draft Jordan Love?
Oh God, dude.
I'm going to be mad?
I'll be irate.
I think y'all will be Jordan Love fans by the time he puts on a uniform. And I think y'all will be bought in.
Can we call him J-Lo?
Of course we're going to call him J-Lo. Yeah, and whoever drafts him is going to get a gym. I'm telling you guys.
If we call him
I'm
J-Lo,
telling you guys. Bro, people don't realize how good this guy is. I'm telling you, he's going to be good.
Okay.
He has the exact same probability of being an NFL starting quarterback, elite NFL starting quarterback as Tua.
Wow.
I
That's
guarantee
bold.
you. Yeah.
I don't think they draft a quarterback in this.
No, I
draft.
don't think they do either, but it'd be fun.
What about Jalen Hurts? Now, I'm not saying the first round. Let's say second round.
I think Jalen Hurts turns into the running back wide receiver.
We actually
really?
agree on something. He's a product of the system.
And that's not a bad thing either.
No, it's
That's not
not
a diss. Like that's a good career. Like that's a good thing.
He's a quarterback that can't throw. I mean, it's all the system. Like he's got short. He throws to somebody and they run 40 yards. Look at how many long passes he's had where he like actually threw it to somebody 30 yards down the field and they caught it. I mean, it's not many.
I don't know. I was just throwing his name out there.
I think we need a gadget guy like that. I think we need a guy that comes in.
Logan Cook, we got him. He's on the team. MVP.
Second best quarterback on the team.
He threw it better than Bortles ever did.
And he's a lefty. Who sees that ever coming?
I'm still scrolling here. I'm looking for Jordan Love. I'll let you know when I get there, all right?
Oh.
Y'all continue.
Well, is that what you did when you were looking up Taven Bryan 2 years ago, too? Is that how you...
Not even look him up because I never even heard of him.
So, trenches, playmaker, quarterback, we've kind of talked about it all. Some people are saying defensive back. This Jeff Okudah guy, he's defensive back at Ohio State. Look, we're a team that might... Look, if Derek Brown's gone, would you be mad at a defensive back being drafted?
Is the Georgia tackle still on the board?
Assuming he's probably gone. If you're going to get tackle, in this scenario, the only tackles left would be the kid from we were talking about earlier, the kid from Iowa, and then the other Alabama tackle.
Yeah, there was an Alabama tackle.
Jedrick Willis Jr.
Yeah.
So those would be the only two available. Would you be mad if we took defensive back over them? Because Jeff Okudah is the real deal at defensive back. Another really good player.
And how many games has Jalen helped that California team win?
The Rams. I mean, he hasn't really been playing well, but
it's not his fault. His
not-
teammates don't know what to do.
It's also not a. Yes, it's an important position, but it's not a position that changes your football team.
Did Jalen Ramsey change our defense when he was here?
No, not this year.
I think he did.
Oh, 17. Everyone likes to point at 17. Yes, he did.
I think both years he did.
But you know what? So did Boye because he got thrown 2 more times.
Did
He had
you?
more
This,
pass
literally
breakups
the
than anybody
game.
in the league.
Literally
And look at him now.
after we traded Ramsey, we gave up 5 straight 200.
Let me say that. How about this?
That's the same time that our.
Who is the
I'm not even
defense
gonna
missed
respond.
more? Because we've had 2 major defensive players depart from this team this season. One because he wanted to, the other injury. Did they miss Jalen Ramsey more or Marcel Darius?
Darius.
I mean, it's not even close.
Not even close.
It's not even close.
Let me add another one to that list. Telvin Smith.
I don't have an answer to that, but what happened to him? Like,
I don't know.
They raided his house, took him in his car.
Then you didn't hear anything about it.
There's like
after that.
900 cops at his house, and there's been nothing since.
I heard a rumor, but I don't think it's worth even sharing on here.
Oh, you gotta share it now.
Well, it's like, hey, did you hear that story about? Oh wait, I can't tell you.
Well,
about
it's not really interesting. It's that he's been traveling outside the world, kind of eat, pray, love, finding himself type deal, and he's had friends or people, acquaintances, I don't know how close he is with them or anything, who were living in his house, who were doing illegal things.
Yeah, but News for Jax confirmed he was at the house that night.
Well, he might have been.
Like he came back in, flew in, and was like, "Oh man, this is bad," and like,
Or this
bad
is
night.
good.
I mean, I'm not saying he knew or didn't know. I'm sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure, but that's the latest thing that I heard.
It's just so crazy. There's been like 0 mention of it.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's a weird
I mean,
situation.
come on, local media, where y'all at?
Everything about Telvin Smith is weird.
Yeah.
To be
It
honest.
really has been. All right.
But no, that is why we need to go interior defensive line if we're going defense to start, because we cannot stop the run and corners can't stop the run.
Yeah. But I mean, you could
Not
play,
like a tackle
You
can,
could
at
play chicken and egg, devil's advocate. Our team's running because they can. Like if teams were if they couldn't run, would they be able just to torch our secondary because it's all undrafted rookies? I mean, when you got Cody Davis out there, I'm sorry, I'm never comfortable with Cody Davis starting as a safety. I'm not really comfortable with Jared Wilson. I'm not comfortable with
I'm not either,
most
but
of the
I'm
guys out
saying
there.
I'm not. I agree 100%. I just don't want them to address it in the first pick. I'll give him the second first round pick, but the first round pick needs to go to either a defensive tackle or an offensive lineman, in my opinion. And I'll be happy with either one of those.
Yeah, it's so hard to hit nowadays at linemen. It's so, I mean, these rookies that are coming in, the learning curve is so steep. The only guy that's been able to do it is the Colts guard.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the only guy that's really was like a home run.
You could call
Nelson. Yeah, and I mean, everyone else is either gets injured or it takes him a couple years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Jawan Taylor's been so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He's had a great rookie season.
yeah, I mean, he's up and down at the beginning of the year, but lately I think he graded out on PFF as one of the best linemen last week of all linemen.
Yeah.
So
I can't knock the fact that he was a good pickup. I mean, penalties, okay, but I mean, he's gone up against some absolute studs on the other side of the ball. I mean, you're going to have to hold sometimes against those guys. So
Yeah, the problem that you run into is if you don't draft them, then you have to go into free agency, and you could have another Andrew Norwell situation where you overpay. And,
Aaron Donald's going to be available.
probably not.
Yeah,
So they can't afford to pay him.
Are you ready to
I
give
tell you,
up?
the Rams are in a mess.
Yeah,
they are
that's
in a huge mess.
That's
might
like
have just-
Joey running that team. That's like picking with his heart.
You can
backstory.
that comment like all together, and now it's like I'm running the team.
What kind of percentage do you give them re-signing Jalen? Because they just gave up two
they
first
have
round
to.
picks.
I think they have to.
They have to, but he doesn't have to.
No, but I think they will. I think they'll offer him max, and he'll take it.
So man.
He's in LA. You could tell he loves LA. He's all about.
He hasn't done jack.
I mean, it's hard to evaluate defensive backs based on stats. That's the issue.
But you want to draft one out of college? Based
Yes,
on their
it
stats?
doesn't mean just because you can't. I can evaluate them because of my eyeball tests, but you can't evaluate them with stats.
All right,
That's my point.
That was a fantastic answer.
That's my point. But at offensive line, are you ready to give up on Cam Robinson already? And wait, before you answer that, James, we're going to take one quick break.
Okay.
All right, but we're going to get James's response. We might get Joey's. Who knows what a tangent it'll go on.
I'm still looking for that guy from Utah, man. It like
Jordan
I've had
Love.
to like
Jordan Love.
refresh.
Jordan
J-Lo.
Love, man.
and
J-Lo.
look for
Look him up.
another.
Look under
mock
J-Lo.
draft.
Look,
It might not be love.
Look, J-Lo's net worth and tell me what you get. All right, we're going to take a quick break, get a word from our sponsors, and then we will be right back.
Dude, this draft.
All right, welcome back to another Jags podcast, episode 100.5, part 2.
Oh.
We're here with James and Joey. Make sure that you follow our Twitter at Another Jags Pod, Instagram Another Jags Pod. We are celebrating our 100th episode with our part 2 episode tonight.
We've said that multiple times. Let's just take a minute on that. 100 episodes.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's kind of crazy.
Like,
It's awesome.
It is.
Congratulations, y'all.
we really are
part of those 100 though. I mean,
we're really probably more at like 115
Yeah,
of
probably.
actual episodes.
Oh, yeah.
But as far as like legitimate
yeah.
standard, I mean, it's been good. I mean, it's been fun. And
I mean, especially like right now, you got almost every other podcast like not even making an effort to put out content because it's so depressing. But
I was gonna say, imagine like when they start winning.
yeah. Well, that's why we've built the following we have. That's why we had to throw it to the fans. The fans are.
what year will that be, James?
I was gonna say it'll be like podcasts will be broadcasting chips in your brain, and
You'll,
direct feed.
you'll have an
Right.
app on your phone and just literally talk into.
be a hologram in your arm.
Who wouldn't want a hologram of Joey in their living?
Oh, man.
Imagine having Joey sitting on your couch just talking about the Jags with you.
What's up, guys?
People would pay top dollar for that.
They would.
I guarantee you they would.
That's $1 million idea
banking,
right there.
I'm banking my retirement on it.
We can just figure out how to do holograms, then we're in.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so go ahead. We
Yeah,
just
no, I was just work on that.
Okay.
Continue.
That was worth stopping for.
We didn't even and we've been talking in this episode about who we would like to see the Jags pick up in the draft. We didn't even mention one of my favorite guys. And during the break, I was like, "Wow, I'm an idiot for not even mentioning a guy that I think deserves a first pick overall, and that's a linebacker."
Oh yes,
A guy like Isaiah Simmons.
Yes.
He is a rangy, athletic linebacker. Reminds me of a spitting image of Anthony Barr, the Vikings linebacker, Joey. And he is a great player, can get sideline to sideline, cover, stop the run. Could you see the Jags taking a linebacker that first
I
pick?
do actually, and what I like about that pick, and I would be happy with that one as well, because for me, I think you're getting a 2-for-1 there. Because if you draft him, then you get Miles Jack to go play on the outside in his true position. So because he would be middle linebacker. Right?
The Jags would probably move him to middle. He played outside at LSU, but the Jags would probably use him because of his skill set in the middle of the field.
Right, and he's bigger. He's so I think you allow Miles Jack to go and play in his natural position, and it would benefit both of them. So I would be fine with that. He is a stud for sure.
What do you think about the fact that? Okay, let me rephrase that. Who's our middle linebacker coach or our linebacker coach? Period. Can anybody name him?
No.
Why
I couldn't name any position coach.
Why haven't they called Paz to come in as the linebacker coach?
Because Paz Play doesn't want to coach. I mean, he stepped away from football because he wanted to spend time with his family. I doubt
Dude, how much
a couple
time
years later he wants to go back into the
How much time does
grinds.
that take? You don't have the same workout schedule.
I don't know. You're the one
Father
with
of the year right there.
Hey,
I don't have kids. I don't know.
If you're offering me $10
like
million
10 minutes
a year,
a day.
I'm like, hey guys, sorry, you're going to whatever college you want to. I'll be back in a few years. But I mean, point being is like,
That was a good 2 years, kids. I'll see you at graduation.
hopefully you still love me.
Good luck in teenage years.
Right. I hear they're brutal.
I think the Jags should make him an offer. I mean, he knows the players. He obviously
It doesn't really work like
position.
that. Like,
Why not?
just because like a guy's a
I didn't say it
solid,
guarantees it, but
just
there's
because a guy's a
chance.
solid player doesn't mean he wants to coach and will be a good coach. There's
But
so
just
many-
because he's a solid player doesn't mean it's
Joey loves Paz. All right?
he really does.
I love Paul's
He
more than Paul's love
does.
his kids.
He really does.
All right, moving on.
But yeah, the thing about Isaiah Simmons is if you watch his film, he looks like, when you watch like high school football and there's one kid on the field that's going D1 and everyone else is not playing college football and that kid is just like eating on everyone all over the field. That's what Isaiah Simmons looked like at the college level.
Yeah.
And when you see that, you're like, ooh, that's the type of guy that fits in the NFL. He really was that dominant. And I'm not even sure what his stats were. But if you watch his film, I mean, the guy is so long and athletic that he literally – we say can cover sideline to sideline all the time, referring to a rangy player. But this guy may really be that more than anyone I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm a giant fan of drafting anybody who was a winner in college and who looked like a stud in college. I mean, just saying. Who cares about the combine? Why not? I mean, it just makes sense. Draft the guys who won and did well. I mean,
It's true. It's not rocket science.
you think it was for us because they take all these people that have upside potential
Ugh.
that, hey, we're going to mold them, and it never happens. I mean, take the guy that was good.
That's why I like the tackle whose name I keep forgetting from Georgia because he.
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Thomas? I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
He started from his freshman year at Georgia, which is known for running the ball. If you can start as a freshman there, like I think that says something.
Yeah.
I think that says something.
You know what it reminds me of, though, whenever someone says start as a freshman, Luke Jokel.
I was about to say
That reminds me of Luke Jokel. It's like, dude just started his whole career there.
Yeah.
Blocked for Johnny Manziel.
Texas A&M is totally different than Georgia.
I know, but still, it's just like, man, drafting linemen in the first round is risky. Offensive linemen is risky.
But we have to at this point.
Do we though?
I would be happy with Simmons. I would be happy with Derek Brown. I would be happy with an offensive lineman. Those are the only three positions that I want to see the Jags address. Because the linebacker is the quarterback on the defense. You need that guy, and we clearly are missing it. And then he's going to be so versatile. He could pass rush and do all sorts of different things. So
no wide receiver for you, huh?
not even close. I will be irate if they get a wide receiver. Ask me, how has that worked out for the Jags in the past, drafting a wide receiver in the first round?
Yeah, but it doesn't always mean it's the same thing, though. I mean, we say the same thing about running backs, but we see these running backs that can dominate games. Zeke, McCaffrey. Look at receivers like they can dominate the game, like Odell Beckham. Yeah.
Who's done nothing.
Michael Thomas from the Saints.
Yeah, that's
these
one.
guys. I mean, they do have good quarterbacks. I mean, they do. And
this is the other reason. It's a very deep wide receiver draft. So get one in the second round that might have a first round grade. You know,
Hopefully it was like off the field problems.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chark needs a compliment. Like he needs a guy that can compliment him to make him a better player.
I think that compliment is a tight end that can actually catch the ball that somebody's heard of and maybe block a little bit too and help out the line for like the third year in a row.
Which is who?
It doesn't matter. Get one.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree.
They're out there.
Yeah.
But not in the first round. At least not with the first
It's
pick.
your second round.
Second
Fine.
round.
Take one, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
you're talking about if they lose on Sunday, they're either going to have the 6th or 5th pick. So you're talking about in the second round, that's the 38th, 39th pick somewhere around there. I mean, that's a great quality pick. You can get a really good wide receiver or a really good tight end at that. But you need to get a game-changing, involved in every snap player with that first pick. And I would say even, I could see I would concede secondary with the second first round pick. But if they went defensive line, linebacker, defensive line, or any of that combination, offensive line, defensive line, I'd be ecstatic with that as well.
I think the only way I would say we draft wide receiver in the first round is if we can get CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma.
No.
Because then we'd have Dede and CeeDee.
CeeDee Lamb is actually really good.
I'd be on board for
He's
that.
He's very good.
I know a lot of people that are like pretty big on him.
Now, I'm not arguing his ability. I just don't think it's
He's running by guys that are going to be selling cars or like
the value in the first round. It's just not. I just don't think you need to go wide receiver.
I agree 100%.
It's just like running back.
That's funny.
Running back, you push even further. But I say wait till the second round for those skill positions, corner, wide receiver, especially.
I just miss having a team with stars at skill positions. Like I miss having guys like Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell and Maurice Jones-Drew and Fred Taylor and these guys that can like take over games when they get the ball in their hands. And we just haven't had that. We've been so deprived of that for so many years that why not try it? We've been bad for 10 years trying to build the trenches. Why not just try it? Why not get some guys in that can, burn the top off the defense and create space?
I hear you. I'm all for that. But those guys also had Tony Baselli and Leon Searcy on the line. You know what I mean? How would they look with the Jags offensive line today? If you line those guys up in the prime with Burnell back there, Freddie T back there with this offensive line, I don't know. Might be talking about a different story.
Well, it's funny you said that though, because when you mentioned McCaffrey earlier, I was like, yeah, they might have won 5 games, but they were still fun to watch.
Absolutely.
I mean, fun to watch that guy do what he does.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I'm all for that, but
the Panthers were playing without their starting quarterback all season, which is something to be said for that. I mean, not everything. But
Scarves don't buy themselves, man. You really got to dig deep for some of those.
I mean, if you watch the All or Nothing on Cam Newton, he spends like a couple grand on his outfit, and he does not wear the same outfit for any game. So every single game, he's spending a couple grand on an outfit that he cannot wear it more than once.
Jeez,
that's ridiculous.
It's the amount of money this man spends on clothes. He has his own custom tailor. It comes to him, tailors everything pre-game. It's
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's.
Let me ask you this: where were Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell drafted? Where did they come out in the draft?
Keenan McCardell was a second or third rounder,
okay.
I think, and Jimmy Smith was like late rounder.
So you can find those guys.
Yeah,
you can find them late.
you can find them late, but you can also find them early, and you more often find them early than you find them late. Because it's. I mean, you look at some of these teams have guys that were drafted high that are just dominant, like McCaffrey, like Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham. Like, these guys were drafted high because they're good players, and Todd Gurley. I mean, the list. I mean, you can find them out there, but you can also find them early. And I'm just tired of busts on the line of scrimmage.
On both sides?
I think you can find – I think in free agency you can get offensive linemen, and I think defensive linemen were pretty good at drafting them. So let's just go out and get a receiver. Let's go out and get a tight end. Let's go out and get a running back. Let's go out and get, a linebacker, a rangy DB, or a safety. Like, that's the stuff that, I want to see. Just because I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of losing it. I want to see something different.
All right. I can't argue that.
I was going to say, you love the tight end class because, like, the majority of any of the good ones are from – a school nobody's ever heard of, so you can blow them up.
Look, as long as you can, play both pass and run, that's all I care about. And as long as you get Jordan Love with the first pick, that's all I care about.
And Brant Kuth, his tight end. Why not?
Utah State?
Yeah.
Just take the whole team. Take the coach.
Oh, I thought you said Utah. Sorry.
Oh,
Utah.
No. All right, any closing remarks, James, or anything about the Jags, about the future of the Jags, what you want to see, anything like that?
Yeah, I got a question. I'm surprised it hasn't been brought up. Do the Jags re-sign, extend, whatever we want to call it, unique this offseason now that Coughlin's gone?
I think they do.
I think they absolutely should.
Yeah. I
So
think
it's going to be more than franchise.
Which is what, 19?
It's going to be a nice race for him.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I think it's like 17, 16, 5, something like that, I think.
I mean, they're going to overpay for him by doing that, but, I mean, that guy's been nothing but solid. I mean, he's never been a problem. He works his butt off, and he puts up the numbers, man. I mean, I think you got to reward a guy like that, or that sends a message. Talk about the players' union, all the players that may be coming here, all that negative news. How about you pay a guy like that that's done a good job, and that kind of sends the opposite message. So I think they have to.
I hope so. It'd be awesome to see him and Josh Allen each side of the line.
Yeah.
Actually, every play, let Josh Allen, have majority of the snaps, not.
And Derek Brown in the interior.
Ooh, man, that's scary. I like that.
How nasty
already.
does that sound?
Oh man, Super Bowl.
DB.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this. I'm not as big on Ngakoue as everyone else is. I've seen him take plays off, which I'm not a big fan of, and I've seen him really mail it in against the run. But he gets after the passer, and that's sexy, and that gets you sacks, and that's what people like. So, yeah, he's homegrown. You're not going to get much better out there for the money. So,
Sacks bring the stacks.
that's right. That's true.
That's what they say.
Plus, in that Oakland game, he had 3 tackles for a loss, which I think
Yeah.
there might be 3 players since they've started keeping stats that have done that. So, I mean, you got a player that has that type of ability.
Yeah, but when you watch Josh Allen play, you're like, this dude's going to be better than Ngakoue.
I agree.
Oh, yeah,
I do.
it's just-
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you sign Ngakoue.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you do. All right, well, that's it, man. I appreciate you, James, being on.
Thanks for having me.
It was awesome,
For
man.
sure. I mean,
Blast.
we look forward to doing these with you. I mean, it's going to be the off season soon, and we're going to have to sit here and create some content for you in the off season. But never been a problem, so I don't think it will be here soon. Thank you guys so much.
4 months of draft talk. Here we go.
That's easy. I got a whole episode on Jordan Love. I got a couple episodes on Jordan Love coming up.
I cannot wait. Hopefully it's as good as Quincy Williams footage.
It will be. Thanks, guys, for listening. Make sure to support the sponsors. Make sure to check out the Part 1 episode if you didn't listen to that. We released a couple days ago. Make sure to follow us on everything and all that stuff. And as always, James.
Go Jags.
Go Jags.